Let's talk about Washington, D.C. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's Rob, DC Born Rob. Hey, let's talk about DC for a minute. I'm going home in 4 days. I'm headed there from Houston, which I've been since getting back from Medellin, Colombia. Still miss that place. Lord knows I miss the weather. It's been hit or miss here. It's been cold, hot, rainy. Today is humid. You never know what you're going to get here. And it's a totally different ecosystem on the other side of the city, too. It's a huge city. Anyway, I'm headed back to D.C. This Friday. Catherine and I are going in. First things first, got to get pizza. Got to get Ledo's pizza. That's a given. Got to hit some GoGo. Again, we talked about that last week. GoGo is my thing, man. I'm going to hear it. I checked into it already. It looks like Chuck Brown All-Star Band is at the Warner Theater. I haven't gotten tickets yet because, who are they with? Tower of Power, which I'd love to hear live too. Man, a huge band. Old cats right now, but man, they jam. I watched a video of them from a couple of years ago on YouTube earlier. They can still jam. Nice horn section, man. But anyway, not sure if I'm going to go because Warner's downtown, which is cool, but I would prefer a more intimate place. You know, if you like to hear go-go, you probably don't want to go to a theater setting. I mean, I saw it at the Strathmore. That's the name of the place where I saw Chuck Brown All-Star Band last time in town. The acoustics were outstanding, but you know, when we dancing in the aisle, so literally I got to walk down and go dance in the aisle. You're not trying to go behind a seat, you know, sitting in front of a movie seat. But anyway, I mean, I will, because seats aren't that bad. I mean, the price is not that bad. I'm trying to figure out, well, actually, I got an email earlier to see who's coming up first. But if I can get a spot at Takoma Station, I'll prefer to get in there. Prefer a table at Takoma Station, really, but, you know, they have bottle service now. They're getting hoity-toity. They still got them Long Island iced teas, though. So if you from D.C., you know about Takoma Station's Long Island iced teas. Man, I took a buddy there about, I don't know, this was a while ago, probably early 90s. I took him there. He wasn't ready for them iced teas, man. That big body glass. He had 2 of them, which is, if you haven't had one before, that's probably a no-no. I mean, I could probably do 2 now, no problem, but back then, if you didn't drink and you didn't drink an iced tea, especially one from there, you'd be hurting afterwards, or the following morning, should I say. But they were good. Band's always late. Man, it is what it is. Call it what you want. Whatever time you think about, it's going to be late. You know, somebody in the band's going to be missing anyway, put it that way. But I'm hoping to see it there. There's another spot also. I forgot the name of it in a little bit further up the road in Silver Spring. On Georgia Avenue. We went there for Catherine's birthday a couple of years ago. Nice spot. So I don't know if they're going to have it, but we'll check that first. Also, I want to check dance studio. I used to actually teach ballroom dancing, believe it or not. Foxtrot, waltz, rumba, samba, mambo, polka, cha-cha, tango, merengue, all that good stuff. I reached out to my old studio director a few days ago when we were out salsa dancing, and he replied he's still there and going strong, so maybe I'll stop by and see him too. But let's talk about D.C. right quick. What it's like visiting D.C. Not predominantly black anymore, at least from what I can tell. Anytime Potomac Gardens is gone and all of Potomac, anything off of Pennsylvania Avenue has changed, and you know, even Pennsylvania Avenue Extended has changed, and you know the city has changed. The upkeep of the schools is where it should be now, where it wasn't before. There was a lot of fighting. I don't know how many people know, but D.C. is not a state. It's a district, District of Columbia, hence what D.C. stands for. But they don't have representation, meaning there's no congressman or senator. Or, you know, most states have 2 senators, well, all states have 2 senators and a few congressmen. We have a shadow delegate. She's still there, too, going strong. Eleanor Holmes Norton, if you see her on TV. I see her getting interviewed every once in a while, but that's what we have. So, you know, it's hard to run a city when you have to go to Capitol Hill and beg for money, you know, periodically. And our former mayor, my mayor, Marion Barry, had to go up there begging for money. Well, he didn't beg, and I guess that's one of the reasons they didn't like him. They was out to get him, but that was my mayor. They were out to get him, and they got him. you know, everybody has their demons and their problems, and they caught him for his. But anyway, they have to go up on Capitol Hill and ask for money just to get things going. So if they say, okay, everybody from the federal government is coming in town to work, we want y'all to pay a toll. You know, like here in Houston, we got tolls all around the Beltway. So DC says, yes, we want a toll. And then Maryland and Virginia say, which surrounds DC, says, no, we don't want a toll. So guess what? There's no toll. So they can get up and bark and create all the noise they want, but in reality, they don't have representation. And if you remember that saying, taxation without representation is illegal and not going to happen in this country, well, it happens to everybody who lives in DC. DC proper I'm talking about. Anyway, that's one thing, and that is my mayor. I go back with Marion Barry since I think I was in 3rd grade. He showed up at my school, had on a green sweater, never forget it. Now imagine how old I am in 3rd grade. He had a green sweater that had the hole torn out in it or worn out of it. I didn't know who he was, but he was on the, well, you know, they told us who he was. He was on the city council then. I think he became, not city council, he was on the school board. And then he got on the city council, and then he became mayor and mayor and mayor and mayor and mayor and mayor and mayor. And he fought for his people. I had my first summer youth job due to him. Man, I made some money back then too, because somehow they worked it where you got, you know, half the check from the city and half from the state, even though it's not a state. I don't know how it worked, but if you got your summer youth job, you know what I'm talking about. He also did the man-cot when they wouldn't reduce the prices for the buses. He said, shut it down. Nobody ride the buses, and nobody rode the buses. He was also the first head of SNCC. I didn't know that back then, but Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. You may have heard the name Stokely Carmichael, who took over after that, who became Kwame Ture after that. You should hear him speak if you can too. But anyway, he's been in civil rights since way back when. He was a university professor. He's done a lot, and he's done a whole lot for this city. And he also promoted and was supported by GoGo too. So that's my mayor. Don't talk about my mayor. But let's talk about where I'm going to go, or where you can go if you're going to visit DC too, because our goal here again on this channel is to get you to travel. So if you're from DC, get out. I'm not saying don't come back, but get out, travel, see some of the cities, get a different perspective, which is one thing that helps me when I come back here and I get so frustrated because they're fighting Democrats against Republicans. It's on the news every day, and that's their goal, to keep us fighting over this while they can take care of that. But that's a whole nother story. But anyway, travel. Yes, travel if you can. And hence the reason we're going there. We're just going for the weekend, but if you've seen any of my videos, Catherine and I, our videos, we move, we keep it moving. So we're coming in BWI. I'll record everything too. We're coming in BWI. We're going to take the commuter train down to Union Station, and then wherever we get, either an Airbnb or a hotel, which is not set yet. Yes, honey, I know we have not booked that yet. But we have a couple of areas too. If you're going to come to DC, where you're going to stay, because it is expensive now. It's not quite Manhattan, but man, I mean, to stay anywhere around there, the hotel prices are crazy. So I like Crystal City. It's Virginia. It's right across the 14th Street Bridge from downtown. If you're in the right spot, you can get a beautiful skyline view of the city, meaning you can see the monument and the Capitol in one view, and a few other buildings of prominence too. I think it's which memorial? Well, you can see the Lincoln, I think. Yeah, you should at least see the Lincoln, the monument and the Capitol, I think, in one view. There's also a building on the other side too in Crystal City. It has a spot at the top of the hotel called the Sky Dome, and it turns around just really slow, so you get a 360 view. You go to the bathroom and come back and think your girl walked out on you. But it's nice. It's nice. You got a beautiful view too. So if you can get over there, I think it is the DoubleTree. I think it's a DoubleTree in Crystal City. So if you ever get over there, check it out. And if we're in town, well, hopefully we can cross over the bridge and maybe we go up there and get a drink or something and show you that view, because it's amazing. I think it's the best view of DC, from outside of DC, of course. So I want to go see the African American Museum. I haven't been yet. Well, I've gone and couldn't get in the last time I was there. I don't know, passes or tickets. Supposedly it's free, but you can get day passes. It was too late for me then. Same day passes. I tried online yesterday. I couldn't get tickets ahead of time, so we'll see. We'll just show up and see what's up. Either it's meant to be or not. There's a boatload of museums, a Museum of Natural History, American Art, Air and Space, and it's all in the mall. The mall is like a grassed area, this, as wide as a football field, and quite long. If you've seen, any of the presidents getting sworn in, they'll show you the picture of the mall, which is the area between the Capitol and the monument, the Washington Monument, which is the big tall building. And then on the other side of that, there's a pool of water. That's called the reflecting pool. And then you're at the Lincoln Memorial. So if you're standing on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, you can look into the water and see the reflection of the monument, hence the name reflecting pool. And then on the other side, if you look to the side of the monument, you can see the Capitol all the way in the distance. So we'll do our rounds, we'll walk around it. And, after leaving there and coming back, I found that it's a tiny, tiny town. So last time I was there and I was downtown, I was able to walk around to, everything I just listed in probably an hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll end up walking by the White House, I'm sure. Hopefully I can see my cuz downtown. What's up, cuz? See my cousin downtown. We're not going to have a car, so we're going to be restricted to how far outside the city we can go, but the metro takes you around pretty much everywhere you want to go. So if you're going to stay in DC, try to stay near the metro, and it goes quite a lot farther than when I stayed there before, and I was there when they built it. But yeah, so hope to get downtown, hopefully probably past the Old Levitt Grill, which my buddy Chris, shout out to Chris Hall if you're there. Best crab cakes I've had in the city, man. Best crab cakes, and oysters too, raw oysters if you eat, which I eat now because of Catherine. She eats everything. So with her, you got to try it anyway. I'll try it, but except if you saw the bandeja paisa in Colombia, in Medellin, man, that black sausage, yeah, I'm picky when it comes to food, but give me some good seafood, So I'm looking forward to seeing the wharf. The wharf has changed, which is an area where they bring in seafood. There's a bunch of boats that'll pull up and they sell crabs and oysters and everything right out of the water. But that whole area has changed. They were under construction the last time I was there, and I spent like a year. So, since I've seen it. Well, I saw it early this year. Well, I was there early this year, but didn't get to see it. Also, having been in the MGM, which is on the other side of the water, on the other side of the Potomac. That's a casino, so there's actually gambling, not in D.C., but right across the line, right across the water. So I'll probably get over there, hopefully to see my buddy Dave. Shout out to Dave. I am the culmination of all my friends, and that means from Buck Rodney, my closest friend, to my cuz Mike, to Mike Gormley, to Dan O'Donohue, to Doug Galloway, to Dave Henry. These people make up to who I am. These people have been friends with me since I was 14. I think I met Rodney when I was 14, and that's been my bud since then, man. We've been through some battles. At a young age, I tell you, from 15, 16 on up, we got in a lot of stuff, man, a lot of battles, a lot of corner fights and all kind of stuff, man. But we woke up, had a black eye, but we woke up. Nobody was getting shot back then anyway. But I made it out, because there's a lot of people still there that didn't make it out, or a lot of people that are either dead or in jail. So I'm blessed to be out of D.C. and thankful. But there's people who are still there. They love that area, I'm guessing. So, but if you are still there, if you are in D.C., you like that go-go beat, get out too. Take the beat out, man. Take the beat out. You know what? I run into people from D.C. everywhere across this country. You just talk to people, and one of the common opening comments is, where you from? Or I'm from D.C., I'm from Maryland, I'm from Baltimore. That's another thing. People from Maryland, Virginia will say they're from D.C. Where you from? D.C. Oh yeah, what part? Alexandria. Yeah, no. Silver Spring. Yeah, no. I had a guy in the military years ago tell me he was from D.C. So I said, okay, hey, yeah, well, what part you from? He said, oh man, on the other side. First, you don't say on the other side. And he said, yeah, you like them Redskins? Yeah, okay, I'll give my pass. You like the Redskins? I'm a Redskin fan, you know this. And he said, yeah, man, you ever been to JFK Stadium to watch him play? And I said, nah, dude. So we had a problem because there's no JFK Stadium in D.C. It's RFK, and that was a football stadium for the Skins, which are out in Maryland now. But people will represent D.C. proper, and they live in Maryland, Virginia. But you know, it is a known area. So whereas people may not know Alexandria or Silver Spring or Hyattsville, they will know D.C. So I get that. But what else? Let's go back to pizza. Pizza, Ledo's Pizza. I'm going back to some Ledo's Pizza. Where's my Ledo's? As soon as I land, matter of fact, I'm going to go in right now and I'm going to find where Ledo's is in relation to BWI Airport for those who not renting a car. Because it didn't make sense to rent a car in D.C. It's like New York now. You get a car, where are you going to put it? I'm not going to pay to park a car somewhere or get a hotel. Worse than that, get a hotel. You think you got a deal on your hotel spot, and you get there and you want to park your car, and even self-park is $45, and you know, and valet is $55. So I'm not trying to run into that. Anyway, so I'm looking to make that happen. By the way, after my last GoGo tape, I went in there and just started playing around with some of the beats and some of the sounds anyway. So I'm gonna play what I created at the end of this. Like, it's just a minute and a half, but that's my beat, so I'm gonna go out on this one at the end. But Ledo's, hopefully get some crabs too. I don't know if I'm gonna make it out to my cousin's house, but he know we do crabs, man. When we were young, when we were kids, and we'd have a picnic, and it was always at their house too, at my cousin's house. And all the grown-ups got to sit at the grown-ups table and eat the crabs, and all the kids got to sit at a little teeny table and had to eat the crab legs. And we swore when we get older, we're just gonna go out and buy our own crabs. So whenever I go home, we normally get some crabs, and he'll hook me up with some pizza, and we sit over there and drink and chat. So, you know, hopefully I get to hook up with him. Maybe I'll take an Uber out there or something. He's outside the city a little bit now, but I hope to see him and Lisa. But anyway, just going back, hopefully I'll get to see my dad too. Hopefully he comes in the city while I'm there too, because again, we won't have a car. And that's my dad by choice, the man who raised me, you know. Didn't have to, married my mom when she had 2 kids, and he took those 2 kids on like his own. Whereas my own dad recently my biological father passed away recently, told his family I didn't exist. You know, when I called him, now I have a brother and a sister, you know, who are awesome, by the way. That's a whole nother story. I got to stop and, you know, mention how I found I had a sister and a brother, another half sister and a brother that I didn't know about until, 3 years ago. And so hopefully I'll get out to see them soon too. Hopefully I'm able, depending upon my next check, see if I can make it out to Seattle for his event. Again, he's a painter. And my other sister is in Maryland, so maybe I'll run into her while I'm there too. Hopefully she's watching my videos. So Sandra, you know if I'm coming home. And I'm coming to BWI too. Again, it's Catherine and myself. Anyway, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit some GoGo. I'm going to get some Ledo's Pizza. I'm going to get some crabs. I'm going to have Ledo's Pizza more than once. As a matter of fact, if we're not going to have an Airbnb, you can't reheat that pizza in a microwave. And man, ain't nothing worse than throwing away some Ledo's Pizza, man. Break your heart. But they have a little teeny window, but it'll still fill you up. So anyway, I'm going to throw a GoGo beat on the way out before I talk too long, because I could sit here and keep going and going and going about DC. But I'm coming home, baby. I'm coming home. So hope to get to see Buck, Dave, Doug, Dan, Mike, all you people. So hope to see you guys later. Listen to this beat. This one I created out of nowhere. Anyway, it is what it is. That's my beat. Talk to y'all later. Peace.
subscribe, and kick the bell.